Most people think the samurai were just warriors, sword, armor, battle. But that's not what made them powerful. The real weapon of the samurai was their mind. Because the samurai didn't just train their bodies, they trained their psychology. And that mindset is something most modern people completely lack. Samurai lived by a philosophy called Bushido, the way of the warrior. But Bushido wasn't about violence. It was about control. Control over fear, control over emotion, control over ego. While most people today react emotionally to everything, the samurai trained themselves to remain calm in chaos. Imagine standing in a battlefield, arrows flying, steel clashing, death everywhere. Yet the samurai believed something strange. They believed you must accept death before the battle begins. Why? Because when you accept the worst possible outcome, fear loses its power. Modern psychology calls this psychological detachment. When your mind stops obsessing about survival, you start focusing on performance. This is why samurai were so dangerous, not because they were stronger, but because they were mentally free. Another powerful samurai principle was discipline over motivation. Today, people wait to feel motivated. But samurai didn't believe in motivation. Motivation is emotional, and emotions are unstable. Instead, they built habits, daily sword practice, daily meditation, daily self-control, even when they were tired, even when they felt nothing, because they understood a deep psychological truth. Consistency rewires the brain. What you repeat daily becomes your identity. This is why the samurai mindset created warriors who could train for decades without quitting. But there is another secret most people don't understand. Samurai didn't train just to win battles. They trained to master themselves. Because the greatest enemy isn't outside, it's inside. Your laziness, your ego, your fear of failure. Samurai believed a warrior must first defeat his inner chaos. Only then can he control the outside world. This philosophy is incredibly similar to modern psychological theories of self-regulation and emotional mastery. When you control your impulses, you control your life. Another fascinating samurai mindset was honor above comfort. Today's culture prioritizes comfort, easy life, instant pleasure, avoid struggle. But samurai believed something different. They believed struggle creates meaning. Pain wasn't something to avoid. It was something to grow through. This is why samurai could endure extreme training and hardship without breaking, because their identity was built around purpose, not comfort. Modern neuroscience shows something interesting. When humans connect suffering to a greater purpose, the brain releases dopamine differently. Pain becomes tolerable, even meaningful. And this is exactly how the samurai lived. But the most powerful samurai mindset was this: silence. Samurai didn't talk about discipline. They practiced it. They didn't announce their goals. They executed them. In a world where everyone wants attention, the samurai chose quiet mastery. And that silence made them terrifyingly effective, because while others were speaking, they were improving. While others were complaining, they were sharpening their mind. This is why the samurai remain one of the most respected warrior cultures in history, not because they fought, but because they mastered themselves. The real question is, if a warrior from 500 years ago could develop this level of discipline, what's stopping you today? And if this video made you feel understood, subscribe to At.PsyFly, because here, we don't ignore the darkness. We understand it.